You're now listening to Words of Radiance with Dr. Troy Munson.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson. If this particular podcast caught your eye, so to speak, the title of it, then you may be definitely ready to hear what I'm going to have to say. But this particular podcast is on the real reason why we keep having the troubles that we keep having in our lives. And before I get into the reason, which is really quite simple, I'd rather tell you a story. So, as a driver, I like to be very technically accurate. It's just who I am as a person. I'm not faulting somebody else for not being accurate or speeding up and slowing down the whole time or not using their turn signals or anything like that. You may all drive as you wish to drive. However, for me, it comes a point where I get to this light that's just outside my neighborhood, and it's not very well designed, let's say. I'm trying to be kind because I want to call it completely psycho. However, I'm amazed because I'll pull up to it in the turn lane and the other traffic is going, then all of a sudden they'll stop and it'll give me the turn lane, even though there are people waiting to go the other direction that were there before me. Sometimes I've actually sat there and watched it turn 3 times for the other turn lane before I even go. At other times, it stops traffic that's heavy and the turn lane will go and it just stays green for almost 30, 45 seconds. It's a long time. Other times, the turn signal will go and it will turn yellow within 3 seconds. It's like no rhyme or reason. Either somebody is in there like watching it just to see what people will do, or maybe it's just there for people like me that really want to be free and are just trying to get past their own crazy thoughts that run in their head. And the moment today that I called this light crazy, I hear that still small voice in my head say, "Really? Is that what you want to keep having happen?" And it hit me. Oh my gosh. No, I don't. In fact, I don't want this light anymore. And I tell you that because I realized long ago that it was my own thoughts, my own thinkingness, the habits that I habitually did inside my own mind that produced what I was getting in my life. And I've seen it time and time again in my clients. And as I've coached them through this, they're like, "I can't believe I didn't see this sooner. And I wish I would have known about this sooner because my life would have been so much better sooner." And I said, you wouldn't have been ready for it. It was at the right place at the right time for you to hear the truth. That ultimately, the reason that we have the problems that we have is because we actually want them on whatever psychological level. Now, did I wake up thinking today that, man, I really wish I had a psycho light outside my neighborhood that I could wait on for a whole long time and just sit there and do nothing? No. But my own negativity that calls this light crazy, am I helping this light change if I continually call it crazy? No, it's going to continue to be that way. But if instead I begin to think, you know what? Everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. Now, at that point, when I think that, it no longer matters if the light does weird things or does not. I simply have stopped caring that it does whatever I think it should do, as if I'm more important than you or somebody else traveling on the roads. It's not that I am or am not. I'm just going to be way more in control of my thinking mind because I think I would rather be happy. And so if we don't want to be happy, we're going to find lots of things out there that will agree with our unhappiness and be there so that we can decide to be unhappy about those things too. Now, if in general you're like, you know what? I think I'd rather have a great life. I think I'd rather have a life filled with joy, with peace, with love, with happiness and ease. I think that's what I'm going to go for instead. Then you'll find as you let that thought process grow that the other things that used to bother you will no longer bother you. Well, yeah, but that means they're still going to happen. Yes, but they won't bother you Now, there are many things that probably happen to you throughout the day that you are perhaps not bothered by because you never see them, because you don't care about them. But because you have made this one point in your mind, it is now showing up in many different ways within your life to show you what you are thinking and what your beliefs are and what you're continuing to want to get in your life. And therefore, that is what you're producing. So when you have a wealthy person that thinks wealthy thoughts and says, you know what, I have abundance everywhere. I have abundance of skin. I have abundance of carpet in my house. I have an abundance of paint in my rooms. I have an abundance of money in my bank. I have an abundance of patience in my mind. I have an abundance of love flowing out from me to all people. And they just live in abundance in every way, shape, or form. I walk outside and there's trees everywhere, and I have an abundance of trees everywhere. It's beautiful. Look at all the air I have. It's abundant. Now, if I instead think, man, I don't have jack. I lack everything. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a new pair of shoes? I wish I had a car that worked. I wish I had a spouse, or I wish I had a house, or I wish I had all these different things. And because you keep wishing and wanting, your brain says, oh, yeah, I can help you do that. I can help you keep wanting it. I can keep all those things far away from you so that you don't have them and that you continue to want them. Instead of acknowledging with beauty and with acceptance and with patience and with gratitude and with appreciation everything that you do have. And as you begin to live more and more within that beautiful appreciation, things all of a sudden begin to change, and quite radically quickly if you will let them. But it has to be a solid change within your own mind. And the moment that you see it, that is when things really start happening. Just like this morning with me seeing that for the first time, I am the one creating this light that is crazy, if you will, because that apparently is what I want. Now that I see it, I have a beautiful choice. I can choose now to have something different than a crazy light outside of my neighborhood. And so you know what? I think I'll decide for that now. I think I will decide for things like, you know what? I think I would like a body that is absolutely healthy. I'm appreciative of all the health I do have. I'm appreciative of all the things and relationships and experiences that I have right now. And I look for even more amazing things to happen. And they will, because that is what I'm going to value. I'm not going to value being miserable or crazy or unhappy or insane. I'm going to value things that are worth valuing. And so whatever you're getting in your life, you have valued. If you do not like it, begin to value something different, and you'll watch things change beautifully, wonderfully, simply, effortlessly. Until next time, I'm Dr. Troy Munson.